Hello, all you beautiful people at WCReplays.com. This is Orange doing an audio commentary. Please get the replay paused at the 45-second mark and we can get this underway. This audio commentary is copywritten 2007, so don't go stealing it because it's just overall a pain in the ass. So this is going to be a human versus night elf game. I'm going to talk about different options that human has against the night elf and proper expanding times. Really, because sometimes when you fast expand, it becomes a lot harder to win games, and sometimes when you don't fast expand, it becomes harder to win games. So I'm going to go over the instances, if I can. Also, I'm going to talk about a few night elf options as well, because I am a random player, so I like to talk about both sides of the game. Mostly I'll be focusing on Mr. Todd 4K here, because what he does in this game is actually approximately what I do, except I usually go to tier 3 and try and abuse knights. So anyways, if you have the replay paused at the 45-second mark, we'll get this underway. I'll talk about myself at random intervals during the game. So, look out for that. It'll be good times. So, if you're there, that's good. If you're not, pause the audio part of this commentary. And let's get this unpaused in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So Fog of War doesn't really matter, so that's kind of optional. Todd 4K's build is actually pretty nice. Placement. Build order is always the same for everyone. But pretty much he keeps both of his barracks and his altar out front. Kind of shields his town hall there. I don't know. I find it's a lot better to do because some people like to come in and just raid your base, and all you can do is repair and hope that it doesn't die. So protecting it with like a farm and putting your altar up front minimizes the attack damage that they can do because they have to get their bears in the way. Also, I'm not a fan of scout farms, but I guess they help. I guess it tells you when you should be able to TP in and when you shouldn't be able to TP in. If you would mind looking at Soju, he's going to be doing some Ancient of War creeping, pretty standard, really. I'm not a fan of the Ancient of War creeping either, just because I always get ganked, and it's always not cool. Even versus, like, human, they just decide to come in and wreak some havoc. Like, a good move that a lot of people do is, if they scout you early, they take the militia and they bring you to your building Ancient of War, and then the creeps just laugh at you while you die. So, what Todd is going to be doing is a little bit of militia creeping. He's going to be creeping the 2 turtle camps. I find that, with this patch, you might as well creep the turtle camps, because you don't get any more lightning shield, you don't get the mirror image stuff, so you don't really gain much of an advantage from creeping those except an experience advantage. And also this way it just makes it easier to avoid any demon hunter harassment. Makes it a lot easier to deal with oncoming foes, I suppose. Huh, that rhymed. Interesting. So, after he gets 3 or 4 footmen, he won't be militia creeping anymore, which is good. I find that militia creeping has hazards. It also slows down your wood, so you won't be able to expand or to tech as easily. It's just not as good, in my opinion. But I guess we all have our opinions. Now, Soju's doing a common thing now, which is bring the archers along with you while you're harassing. This wasn't common before because a lot of people thought they'd lose archers. And really all you have to worry about is the Archmage ganking your archers, because it's the only unit that can keep up with the archer's move speed. With footmen, you just kind of have to play the dodge game and hope that they focus fire your demon hunter more. And if they spend the time going after your archers, you're pretty safe too. You'll notice that the night elf is doing a very good job of picking off the weak water elementals and such. This has almost brought him up to level 2, which is actually superb harassment on his behalf. You'll also notice that Todd is researching the defend upgrade. This is pretty much very common against people who go archers. If they go huntress, usually you'll want to try and set up a... what is that called? A blacksmith. Wow, that's great. We had a blank on an easy one. But yeah, usually they'll try and set up a quicker blacksmith, maybe slow down their tech, and if they do scout it earlier, setting up an expansion kind of becomes easier, because that way they can't really snipe down, your towers as easily, and they actually have to focus on harassing as opposed to creeping. Well, whereas you can creep and then kind of duck back and try and save your expo. Also, in Night Elf versus Human, it's kind of common to tower push very early on if people go Huntress. So it's become kind of dangerous to go Huntress. Ooh, that is a very nice surround by Todd. I must say that is rather impressive, actually. And here the defend upgrade is coming in handy. It's making sure that the archers really don't get the Demon Hunter out of the surround. You'll notice that he didn't decide to TP out of that, mainly because his Moonwells are fairly low. Well, at least I'm pretty sure he checked that first, or he realized that his Moonwells were low. Also, Todd doesn't really have enough of an advantage to be able to push his base and end it effectively, because the archers have the hide. Sure, he has dust, but it kind of becomes a pain, especially with the running Ancient of War and the ability to use your Moonwells at your discretion. Very nice dust move there. I guess right now Todd is just trying to camp out the tavern and make sure that he can get his second hero and be able to push his advantage as soon as possible. Oh, he doesn't. Generally, a good idea is to set up an effective tier 2 push with your secondary hero. Usually because right when you get your secondary hero out of the tavern, they won't have much to defend their base. They'll just have their tier 1 units. And if you camp it out, they won't be able to get their second hero out as easily, because you'll be harassing them and you'll be trying to kill a whole bunch of units. Todd loses a militia to creeps. Not good. Also, here's what happens with militia creeping at tier 2. Naga and the Demon Hunter come in and wreak some havoc. Also, the defended footmen kind of lose their effectiveness, because Demon Hunter and Naga sniping is just so good. Especially with the frost arrows, because, archers will have their attacks bounced, but hero attacks never do. And with the slow, it makes it kind of like a Dryad without the anti-summon ability, which is awesome. And you'll notice that Todd decided to give the boots to the Naga Sea Witch. Always a good idea. Apparently Soju didn't decide to pick up a Boots of Speed. I always find it's a good thing, especially like if you're a human player, or if you're a Night Elf player and you just want to chase down some units or some heroes. I just find it's always good to make sure that all of your heroes have fast move speed. Just makes it so much easier to reposition your army and such. It's good for long battles and stuff. It just makes it easier to avoid certain deaths or uses of items. Ancient of War being butchered. I guess Soju is just trying to waste some time, maybe deal some damage output with that. And here Todd is going to do something interesting. He's pretty much going to suicide his footmen. I'm not really sure what the advantage is he's trying to gain out of this. It's kind of an interesting move. I guess footmen, whatever, they kind of lose their effectiveness at tier 2 just because of how quickly they die to heroes. But also when bears come out, it becomes very hard to use footmen effectively, because all you really need footmen for is for getting rid of archers and maybe some creeping. And when you hit tier 2, creeping becomes a lot easier anyways. So his footmen are still trying to deal some damage to those water elementals, trying to take down a Dryad. Didn't really work as well. You'll notice that here the Boots of Speed is coming in handy for Todd, as the Demon Hunter is unable to keep up with the roaring speed of that Naga. Also, now Todd has got some pretty good positioning on that Demon Hunter, but he uses a nice pot and gets away. So Soju's reaping the benefits of some free footy kills. Pretty much just trying to avoid some damage. He's got a couple weak units, but they're probably not going to die anyways because Todd is backing off. He's also setting up his expo. Oh, that might have been a reason why he suicided his footman. Buys a lot more time for your expo, I guess, but with all that free experience, his Naga hit level 2, and Demon Hunter with evasion is already imbalanced enough, so you kind of don't want him to level up. Also, Soju seems to be keeping a potion on his Demon Hunter. I guess this is always a good idea because your Demon Hunter is always going to be in the front, taking a lot of damage. So, I guess it's a good idea. It also could be player preference because, with the staff on the Naga, you should be able to save your hero anyways. But I guess it just adds to your tanking ability. I like the hold position footies that he has going here. I'm not really sure what the advantage is he gains, but he just kind of gains position. Also, you'll notice he's drawing fire with his Naga, I guess. And Soju's getting pretty aggressive on the heroes, or he's about to start getting aggressive. I guess he's just picking off